Other people, Southwest is saying, we need huge autonomy, okay? We need to have fiscal autonomy, you know, we need to have some kind of policing, we need to have decisions on socioeconomic development, we need. South is saying, it's always been saying it, okay? Even Southwest has been asking for restructuring and a loser control from the center for a long time. That's okay, that is political spatial. But we also have more fundamental structural economic problems. You know, what type of governance do we want? Do we want parliamentary? Okay. Do we want the mixed, like in France, presidential plus parliamentary? Do we want the outright American one that we're pretending to use now is hellishly costly?
So it appears everything is ultimately or directly or indirectly tied to the political structure.
Oh yeah,
including that structure you talked about.
Yes, oh yes, and including the kind of economy you can run in it. The structure we have, for instance, look, I keep saying it, this is the most wasteful, low quality, most expensive, low quality economy in the whole world. And I mean, you know, privately I have, the point is this, look at how much it costs this economy for the so-called second term. Hey, go and look at the electoral something. You are not supposed to use up to 5 billion to run for presidency in this country. They use it in some states to run for governorship. Okay? Look at that problem. How much it costs this economy. And in the last election, for instance, we've heard of hundreds of billions, possibly close to $1 trillion that was used. And that president lost. Okay?
And it may keep rising.
And the money is gone. It has not gone into development. It has not gone. It's just gone because some set of people want to come back again and continue. Do you understand? And I'm not talking particularly about the outgone president. Everybody is doing this, governors and everything. Look at how much money we waste in that process alone.
You think we can really stop it?
Oh yes, you can get a structure that stops it. Okay? It doesn't matter whether governors want it or not, and any reasonable one should want it.
Will that be parliamentary, politically speaking now?
Look, I don't want to prescribe my own preference. For me, preferably, it should be a parliamentary system. Because we had it up to 1966, where you can say, look, the center would be automatically entitled to certain kinds of money, maybe exports. It will take X percentage from whatever export is going out from any zone, okay? But apart from that, any other money it's going to use, the zones or the regions will sit together with the federal government. They will negotiate year by year, okay? All right? But we used to have it here before.
We'll see how it works, and can it work again? Join us again. Welcome back. We've talked about, you talked about the economy, parliamentary system, how it worked previously. But, you know, if we need to even do this, such that our economy will be really strong, perhaps douse all of this, where do we start?
I think what is important is to have in mind, what are we restructuring into? We know why we want to restructure broadly. I mean, there might be question of details and harmonizing our language and how we express it, how we go about it. But the key thing now is to know where and what we are restructuring into. And to do that, you have to have a sense of the lineup of the problems we have now. I gave you one of them. I said, look, this system is politically over expensive. It bothers me more than anything in Nigeria. I look at the entire governance machine, forget even the crimes being committed, and I hope we don't become, our governance in Nigeria doesn't become a criminal enterprise. Really, I pray it doesn't go, it's going down there, but I pray it doesn't become a criminal enterprise. But you look at it, if somebody is looking for, somebody becomes a governor. Now, if you spend 300 billion to be president, if you spend 5 billion to be governor, we all pretend we keep quiet. Are you telling me they don't get that money back, or they won't try to? No. Can Nigeria answer to itself? To thyself be true. Can we answer to ourselves? How do governors get all these billions they spend to become governor? Or they don't get it. They are so nice. They spend that money, then they go and do good for me and you.
Where do they get it from?
How do the president, where do they get it from? So the kind of restructuring we want is the one that is going to tie their hands and their legs. They will be able to move a bit, you know, and the hands. They can still steal a bit, but we must restructure into a system that is going to greatly constrain criminal behavior on the part of those who hold power. Right now, we don't have that. We need to restructure into a system that brings the people who represent us and who govern us closer to home. Somebody who is in Abuja and is representing me and I'm in Igbajo, you know, Osun State. And that guy is in Abuja, they are sharing money, I don't know. Do you know we don't even know how our senators vote? Or do we have a way of knowing that on this subject, this is how you vote? Look at what happens to them in America. You vote for what doesn't please your constituents. You come back home to that surgery, they insult you, they deal with you. I have seen one recently, okay? So, I'm telling you what we should be restructuring into. We should restructure into much greater constraint to impunity, much closer, spatial closeness, manageable governance spaces. In other words, I don't want to be represented by somebody who is 500, 700 miles away. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know. Let them be closed. You know this youth. If you mess up, they will go. They might even threaten to burn down your house. I don't want that.
Let me add this
but we need these people closer under our nose.
What if, I mean, I know they talked about it some time ago, but I don't know if it's gone cold. Independent candidature.
Yes.
If that were introduced into the laws while they amend the Constitution.
Yes.
How will that help?
It will help a lot. You see, our leaders are afraid. They know that, you know, the party system is completely rigged. You join a party, you can't just be great and say, oh, this guy is smart, he's saying the right things, and you work hard for the party and become candidate. You know, it won't happen that way. There are all these, you know, godmothers, godfathers, goduncles and things who make it happen. Will those chaps allow this happen? Those godfathers and the rest of it? This is why you need the independent candidate. So anybody who doesn't think there is a path in this, they have brought, you know, system, the rigged party system, you then go, look at France now.
Yeah, my point is this. I mean, in those other cultures, it's a little easy for them to do that. Perhaps I stand corrected. But here, the members in the National Assembly, they come from constituencies. So what if from there, whichever elite group is there says, hey, don't vote for that independent candidacy. If you were supporting it before, drop it, because that will affect my powers to control things in my region. And if the lawmakers drop it, who votes for it? Number one, I don't think there are politicians who talk in those terms to voters. I mean, what you just said... To National Assembly. They have to amend the laws. Oh, to National Assembly. Yeah, to National Assembly. I see your point. But you see, this is the whole thing. We cannot let a group of people hold this country to ransom. Our youth must know how to go in front of that National Assembly and say, we want independent candidacy. And look at it, it's done all over the world. I look at South Korea, it's very inspiring. That lady, did you see handcuffs in her hand? Former president, or within the last 6 months, her father worked with the chaebol to industrialize Korea. Can you see what the system is doing to her? It's not personal, okay? Until you get our leaders a bit afraid and respectful towards us. Can we rise? Right now it's the other way around. But do you see us rising above sectional interest to say, it doesn't matter even if you come from my family. Yes. If you break the law, you do the time. But you know why? It's because our leaders, the political system we have, has done something which many Nigerians are not very conscious of. What has it done? It has, you know, in Yoruba we'll call it bukata. It has given bukata to everybody. It's giving you something to keep you busy. What is that bukata? Basic existential struggle.
What do you think is the biggest fear?
Water. Look, I'm here now. There's no water in my house for about 5 days. It keeps you busy with all those things. Therefore, makes two of us. Your political sophistication is not high.
What do you think is the biggest fear?
And 500 naira to vote.
What do you think is the biggest fear when we have to go restructuring? Do you feel, for instance, say, the North or the East or the South or the West can survive restructuring?
In conclusion, please.
Yeah. Look, the problem is this. I've told you. The reason why Nigeria, why even some injustice, some, you know, inequalities cannot survive in this system and why we must have restructuring is because, as I said at the beginning, the elite, the political elite, the leadership have failed us. Number one, the kinds of wrong people go there. Number two, look at even the part of the country, the zone of the country. I will mention that everybody knows that they say, oh, they've kept all the power, they've kept this one, they control the military. And we know it's true. They've had more presidents. What is happening to the poor people there?
All right,
it is the least developed in the country. It has the poorest people, the least educated. So the elite are failing everybody in every zone.
We'll anchor at that point. We appreciate your comment this morning. Mr. Bolaji Ogunseye, Sustainable Development Economist and expert. We'll be back in a moment and talk about something else, perhaps related. Join us again.